All right, it is 1:30 Central, so we will get started. Welcome everyone to today's webinar, Delivering Vet Science Skills Training Online. My name is Emily Klinsky. I am on the marketing team here at Realityworks. Presenting today, we have with us Jamey McIntosh, our RealCareer product manager. Jamey has been with RealityWorks for over 9 years and came to RealityWorks with an extensive education background as a former educator teaching in Wisconsin and in Colorado. His topics cover student engagement, technology in the classroom, gaming, filling the skills gap, business education, and various agriculture and welding topics. So he's a pretty great resource for today's webinar. With that being said, I'll pass things over to Jamey to get us going.
All right, thank you, Emily, for that. I really appreciate it. To get us started today, just have a few things to run down. One, thank you very much for being here and for taking the time out of your busy schedules and your remote schedules to go over this presentation. Want to talk just a little bit about a few things. We're going to be talking about vet tech skills. One of the things is all of our products that we have that Realityworks sells in the agriculture education world has curriculum involved with it. What we've done is we've looked through and tried to take the different curriculums that best fit some of the concepts and some of the fields of study that are linked with our veterinary technology veterinary science type sort of courses. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So just to get us started here, want to just do a couple reminders. One about our Zoom meeting itself. I have a picture here of what you might be seeing, and just want to remind you that down in the bottom there is a excuse me, a section for chat, so you can click on that. And then if you have any questions while we go along, if there's something you want to ask and I'm continuing to talk, this is the place where you put that question in the chat area, and then if I miss it or there's something, I can go back at the end and we can answer all those questions. But don't want you to forget it, and so go ahead and put that in as soon as you have that question. So there's a question and answer and a chat area there that you can click that, and we'll be able to see that and then answer all your questions. So just to kind of help you, again, as we are also working remote and as we're here, we are trying to find ways to help you, the educator. And as we kind of are winding down the school year here, this is something where this is something that can be very useful for the rest of the remainder of the school year, but it also is something that maybe you want to start thinking about, okay, how do I look forward and ahead to the next school year to see what might be pieces and nuggets that I can gain and grab from for the future. So just to show you here, we do have all the curriculum that we're going to be talking about today is online. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have tried to partner with you by putting our curriculum online for you to use. Free of charge, it is there for you to use. So all you need to do is go to realityworks.com, and when you scroll down, there's there's a section here called COVID-19 response. All you have to do is hit the learn more. What that'll do is bring you in, and it gives you a lot of different resources. Now, maybe you've been here for other webinars that we've done. If you haven't, we have recorded all of those webinars. So you can click on the webinar button there, and that will give you all our different webinars that we've done during this time, trying to help, trying to give different resource and insight for you in this time. There's also a place for free career exploration lessons. So if that is a feature, or maybe you're at that place right now at the end of the school year where you have a week left, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3, depending on where you're at, that you just need kind of that final push to get you to the end. Might want to start checking out that career exploration and soft skill development area, because that might be a great way to culminate and finish up your lessons here and kind of wrap up things for your students that they have been through quite the year. You have been through quite the year. Now might be that time where you can look at that and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to finish up and start looking at different careers that you might have, or your students might have questions on, that you can kind of look and say, hey, the whole semester, the whole year that we've been working on this, might be start focusing on what is that career choices that you would want to go on, and here's a great place for that. Then you have program resources there, and if you click on the guides and curriculum area and click on that one, that is where you're going to get all of the resources that I'm talking about today, that and many, many more. So that is where, if you click on that guides and curriculum, all of a sudden you come in here and it talks to you about all the different types of models we have, from our hydroponics and plant science, bovine and swine, animal models, classroom posters. There's just a lot of different products there, and you can just click on any one of those, and that is where you would get your guide. So all you have to do, again, is go to our website, click that COVID-19 response, and then click on the lessons and guides, and it gets you right there. And then inside each different product that we have here, it gives you a quick start guide, a curriculum download, and then a certification. So depending on what the product is, may not always have a certification, but it'll always have a quick start and a curriculum download for you. So with that said, let's get started here. All right. So just a reminder here, we still see the importance of social distancing. It's fun to kind of show this and get your students to be thinking of that world, as we're still kind of in that stages. Some states are in it more than others, but just remind your students again of the importance of following those needed guidelines for social distancing at this time, until we kind of get over that that hump of where we are in this pandemic. So just a little reminder there for us. So let's get started here and start talking about the different resources that we have for you. So first off here, we have our focus is going to be on really, I have three main focuses here, but I got a little extra something for you as well towards the end. So we're going to talk about our cat and dog models and how the anatomy understanding of that can help in the vet science world. We're then going to go into and talk about injections, and our focus is going to be using our bovine injection simulator and also injection pads. Then a few extra pieces that I threw in today for you is we're going to talk through our fetal pig model. This is going to show you a little bit more about what that can do to really kind of get students starting to understand dissections. And then a little something special that I don't have on the screen here, but I added for you, is also look at sutures and how to use our suture kit. So we're going to kind of go through those, added a few things here just as a special add-on for you teachers who are part of this webinar and here with us today. So to get us started here, a reminder of kind of a overview of what our different structure is for all of our curriculum. Okay, in a class period of a structure of our class period, the way we kind of do it is we always start with some sort of focus, getting those students' attention. Then we get into a presentation, a demonstration, a teaching kind of learn mode, and then we always end with a review, kind of going back over what did you get from this lesson. So it's that review and reflection opportunity there. So starting out, looking at our dog model here, we're going to really focus on the use of the dog model, but our curriculum has dog digestive tract and also reproductive system. Okay, so those are different lessons. We are going to be focusing on the reproductive system, but you can also use it for the digestive system. All right, so now again, if you have our anatomical models, we have a large dog model and a small dog model, and so this is something where you can use it to be able to show and tell, to demonstrate what is being used. But again, if you don't have it, we still have a curriculum available, so then you can use the worksheets, the PowerPoint slides, the different pieces of our curriculum for your classroom as well. So our focus today, again, breaking down a lesson here with in the focus, the learn, and then the review. So you might start out with a focus, and we're focusing right now on just reproductive system, and get students starting to think about the reproductive tract, okay? So maybe a question you have is, what do you do with a female dog? Do you spade it? Do you neuter it? What's the difference between what a male dog, a female dog does? What is the difference between those things? Getting them to start thinking about, okay, maybe they have stories in their own situation, their own family where they have their dog has been spayed or neutered. Maybe they have interest in dissecting and being part of that world. And so, okay, what does that mean? What are the different things that come with that? What positive things, what negative things could be part of that? What does that do for the animal, or there things that could happen with the animal once they've done it? So just bringing open and getting them to start thinking about the reproductive system and discussing those features of the anatomy through that. Going into the learn section here, then we have great slide presentations that you can use, really focusing on the reproductive system, getting students to learn that feature and understand it. Now, kind of tying with this, that's one of the reasons why I included the Suture Kit, and also the dissection is there's other ways to implement and use, kind of bring different lessons that we offer and bring them together to really kind of fill out some of this vet tech world that you may want to get your students thinking about. So in this case here, we have examples of our slide presentations on the female reproductive system, walking through all of the different anatomy pieces of it and what is, you know, kind of how it is put together, the system itself. So we have the reproductive system. Now, I am showing the female. There is also a male reproductive slideshow as well. So I'm just showing you the female right now, but it gives you that, and that is stuff that you can use as well. Then just kind of an overview review, we have worksheets, we have different quizzes, different opportunities. This is one where this is a worksheet that gives students the ability to walk through and be able to understand the anatomy of the dog, and so especially the reproductive system. So walking through where the different parts are located on the animal. Now, this comes in handy because when we get down to suturing and we get down to dissection, we're talking about different things in that world, but it can then also correlate back into this this canine unit in that sense. So now I'm going to jump to our cat model. All right, and this one, instead of talking reproduction, because we already talked about that with the dog, this also has both reproduction and digestive systems, but on the cat, we're going to talk about digestive system. So in this case, again, like I said, there are different lessons that you can use. What I'm focusing on is that digestive system. There is a reproductive system. There's also respiratory, circulatory system. So we focus on all the different, or a lot of the different systems for the animal. So that's there for you to be able to see. Now, again, as we said, we have the ability here for you to use our anatomical models if you have them. But if you don't have that, it's one of those things where one of the things that we have in this anatomical world is, if you don't have that, you can still use our curriculum. And the curriculum is full of different worksheets, different help pieces that are used and have great visual ability to use them. So pictures, diagrams, things of that nature, and we'll kind of get into that as well. So that is another piece that we have in that world. So as I move on here, we have, again, three main sections here: our focus, our learn, and our review. So what we're going to be talking about is kind of starting with the stomach and then going into the review, and a misstep there, but it's the cat digestive quiz, not the horse digestive quiz. So let me get to that here. So in this case, looking at questions about what are you kind of using in the digestive system, and asking the questions of, you know, what is things that are part of the digestive system. Now, in this case, one of the things that you may want to look at and talk through is, you know, what are, if especially talking with students who maybe have a cat at home, is what are some of the problems that those cats have? What's the different types of dog food and cat food? What are the different things that you can kind of talk through for that digestive system for the animal? Then you get into learn section here, And in this case, it starts to show, or you start to kind of look at some different pieces of the digestive system in a whole here. So going through the different parts of the animal itself. So kind of walking through, and the way that, as you can see, the nice pictures here show the different parts of the animal, but as it goes through, then it really kind of steps in line, moving from you know, the mouth all the way to the anus of the animal. So it walks through the stomach, the small intestine, large intestine. It walks through all the different pieces of the anatomy for the cat as well. So great PowerPoint slides there for you to be able to use as well. Then again, for a review, here's that matching game that it can be really fun for your students. Is there is a matching game where you start to have students use what they just learned from the PowerPoint slides, and there are different worksheets that kind of give students a way to look at it. Now, as you can see here, it's kind of a word bank, word match, but there are other ones that are other worksheets that are a little different. So then it's not just the same. So they have to do it one way and then they have to do it another way, and gives that animal kind of a way to understand and learn the different digestive systems in a different way. So that is our cat and dog. And again, getting them kind of to understand some of the companion animal pieces of the puzzle, and getting to know their anatomy will help as we get into some things like suturing, we get into some things like injections, and talking about other features that they may have to be involved with when they're working with these animals. So if I move on here, another thing that may come up is um, the talk of injections, talk about medicines, talk about giving your animals different type of injections based on the needs, based on the care that you have to give them. So one of the ways that you can work with students and get them to start thinking about injections is through our bovine injection curriculum. Now, our bovine product is very much focused on the large breed, focused on cows in this sense, but a lot of the techniques that we are teaching and that are showing, and how we have our lessons displayed here, can show you if you are doing correct type of injections. So talking about your intramuscular, talking about your subcutaneous, those are things that you can learn using this curriculum. Again, tying in different pieces of our curriculum to be able to then use them, and maybe grabbing a piece here, piece there, to really kind of help you and you help your students learn or retain different ideas within the vet science, vet tech world. So in this case, what we're talking about is strictly focusing on our injections. We have a lesson in bovine, in our bovine injection simulator curriculum here. And what we have is, again, focusing on the injection placement, how to do injections, and then there's kind of a quiz on this. Again, this is for the bovine, so it's a large animal type thing, but a lot of the techniques that you learn here can be used in other areas. So with that being said, want to show again, if you have our bovine injection simulator, this is a great opportunity to be able to use that, do demonstrations. We have the cover here on it that shows the injection triangle zone, and being able to show where you would actually do that on a cow. So if you have that, it's a great piece to really demonstrate and use. If you don't, our PowerPoint slides, our curriculum really still gives you an opportunity to share and get students to understand, just doesn't have that demonstration piece. Now, another feature here is something, if you don't have our bovine injection and aren't able to get it, we do have injection pads as well. So in possible, this is also another opportunity for you. We have our small injection pads and our large injection pads. Now, depending on your timetable, depending on where you're looking with this, our large injection pads are around $50, or small injections around $30. So this is something where you may want to look at purchasing of some of these, because you could have these go out to students. This could be something that students could do in a remote learning session, and using our bovine curriculum, being able to work through and teach them about different types of injections through our injection pads. So moving right along, talking about bovine injection. Again, this focus here is about the bovine injection, but it really is asking a lot of questions that would be pertinent to other areas of education as well. So, for example, we have the bovine injection here, and the question might be is, where would you inject? In the neck, in the rump, in the side, in the leg? Where would be the best place? Now, as you can see, we have a PowerPoint slide showing kind of where the best place is, what would be best in this situation. Now, for you, though, you can also manipulate this and use this differently. You can talk about horses, you can talk about pigs, you can talk about cats and dogs, and other types of animals, and get students to be thinking or asking question, or, you know, why would it be in one place in one animal and in another animal? So again, allowing you and your students to start to kind of get some higher level thinking and kind of doing some critical thinking of why would it be in one or the other. So once you get through some of those focusing and getting them kind of to start thinking about injection place, we have slide presentations that really help give an understanding. In this case, talking about the injection, the zone here, and it talks through, okay, where would you actually place, all right? How far apart would you need to place if you had to do multiple injections? We go into the dosage, okay? Well, in the cow, how much dosage are you allowed to give, or should you be giving in one location? Okay, and that changes from young animals to older animals, or young to adult animals. So in this case, then also, okay, what's the difference? So how is that based on its size? What would that be for a different type of animal? And get them starting to do some research and think through how in the world would they be doing that. So again, then start talking about the different sizes of needles and understanding of the purpose of what those needles can do, and why it is important to have those different types of needles, different size needles, for different types of injections, from your subcutaneous to your intramuscular, and kind of going through what are the needs there. Then you can kind of go into different guidelines, and actually how are you supposed to do it. When you do a sub-Q injection, well, what's the technique for that? How do you actually do that? Um, do you go straight in? Do you go at an angle? What is those things that you need to be knowing for that? How much should you be using? What types of needles would you be using? So we have a different slides for all of those different pieces. So then you can get to understand and have your students understand how to do that. Maybe it's a place where they're able to then, learn from you demonstrating it and doing a presentation that showing them this, and then seeing if they can actually do it themselves. Maybe a lot of times on oranges, or on bananas, or things of that nature, if they are home and they can't use the injection pads, or you're unable to use the bovine injection simulator. Finally here then, we have the bovine injection quiz. So this is a great piece where you can walk through your students, and at the end kind of give them a review and say, okay, what do you learn? What are the things that you have? So allowing them to take this quiz. Now again, it's always something, and as we get to the end of the school year, it's one of those things where this might be for participation. This might be just for a quick visual assessment of, okay, are my students understanding what I'm saying? Maybe this is something that, yep, we're going to be working on this, and you're going to add this to what you're already doing, and this is a culminating piece, giving them that quiz to be able to see what are they doing and how are they doing it. So with that said, then, want to move away from our world of injections, some of our animal types in our companion animal world that can help. Again, we have lots of different companion animals. We got a lot of different large brain animals and different things for you in the model world, if that's of interest to you. But showing you then from that world and understanding anatomy, moving into, okay, how do you take care of these animals? What do I need to do while doing injection? Want to work on and talk about the use and study of dissections and suturing. So um, one of this features here is the fetal pig model that we have and the suturing kit that we have. So start with the fetal pig model, okay? Now, our fetal pig model has one lesson that really kind of focuses on dissection. Now, like I've said in the past, and just want to reiterate because this I think is important, is all of our products that we have here are models. If you have them, that is great. But if you don't have them, again, we are giving this out for free right now. So all the curriculum that I'm showing you, everything really except for the model itself, it is open for you to be able to go to our website and be able to view it, be able to download it, be able to use it for yourself and for your students. So now's the time to go out and get that from our website. And I'll show you again how to do that at the end. So in this case here, if you don't have the fetal pig model, that's fine. You can still use the curriculum. The ways that you can use it kind of is a focus on the anatomical parts, then work on dissection, and then we have a worksheet that kind of works through it. So you might want to start with this of, can you name the different systems of a pig? Because you're talking about the fetal pig, it might be something where, talking about the pig and what are the different parts of the pig, and then, hey, we might be able to actually do some dissection and talk through that. Or you can use our model to be able to then show that, or our pictures here. So in the Learn, got some great examples here, and this coincides with student notes that we have as well. So the dissection cuts here really are teaching the student what are the different cuts, how to kind of go and cut the pig open, and so it allows a dissection. Now, unfortunately, because of where we are in our um, uh, remote learning world, students may not have the fetal pig, may not be able to do this in person. So what you can do is you can show them how it is done. So you can be able to use this to kind of walk them through and be able to go through it. Some of our quizzes and our worksheets, they actually have these pictures on them. So students, you could have them be able to print them off, be able to color them, or to follow the lines of where they would actually be cutting, even though they may not be able to do the real thing. They could do it in the on paper. And then we go into each different part of the different organs and systems, and being able to show what these different organs are, where they're located, what is the purpose of them, how then you would cut it open to be able to see them and be able to interact or get into those different parts of after you have cut the animal open. So a lot of great opportunities here to present, to show, to help your students in that world. And then finally, there's a worksheet, and it's open to allowing you to then walk through the fetal pig, but it also has worksheets that go through how do you actually dissect? What is the best way to do it? How do you walk through doing a dissection? Again, getting those students to start to understand, maybe they can't do it the real thing, but can they actually be able to see some of this where, oh yeah, this is actually helping them to understand what the different anatomy is, and then how I would do it. So getting that visualization before, maybe it'll be not until next year where they can actually do, excuse me, they're able to do the actual presentation here and do the cutting of the animal on the product. So last piece that I want to show you is our suture kit. So learning sutures. So this is a lesson here where it walks through the terminology, the types of needles, the technique, and then kind of putting all those pieces together. So in this case here, again, another product that we have is our suture kit. Now, our suture kit comes with 5 of these pack. It only shows 1 here, but it comes as a 5-pack, allowing you to be able to have students partner up, pair up, get into groups and do different types of sutures. However, in this case, if you don't have that, the curriculum is a wonderful curriculum, and with that, it allows you to get into the animal or into the the flesh, the plastic flesh, because it's a plastic kind of rubberized flesh, be able to get into that and be able to actually use and get that realistic feeling. Now, if you don't have that and you can't get that, one of the things that you can do is still use our PowerPoint, still use our curriculum, and what will help you there is it gives great visuals that you'll see here in a moment on how you would be suturing and being able to do that. Again, maybe it's oranges, maybe it's bananas, maybe it's something at home that they can use, maybe it's a stuffed animal that they have down in a box in the basement that they could then go through and start working on and working with some of this. So suturing here is things like focus here is the types of suture, suturing technique, and then technique and review. So in this case, the focus might be here, what are the different types of sutures? So there's natural, there's synthetic, there's absorbable, not absorbable, there's different types of sutures. Why would they want one or the other? So a great question would be, why would it be, why would you want something to be absorbable or non-absorbable, that you have to just kind of absorb the skin or take it out? What are some of those things that you might want to use? So just seeing the comment section here was said chicken thighs from the grocery store is another opportunity for suturing. So that's another great example where you could have them get a chicken thigh and suture it up and be able to go through that. So great thought there and that, I like that. So some of the pieces here then is the suturing technique here is we have great slides here of talking through the needle itself, what the different parts of the needle are, and then how you actually hold the needle, and then go into actually starting to do your suturing. So again, kind of in this focus here allows you to be able to do the different features of both uh, your dissection, but then also once you've dissected, then you also do the suturing. So walking you through both sides of that in that world. So then it goes through things like suture spacing, students being able to know what they need to do and kind of how to do an actual suture. Now, the neat thing then is with your review, you can actually start walking through and having students be able to do actual sutures. So it steps you through on how to position and hold the needle holder, and then how you'd actually loop it through, going through how you clamp and then start tying it off, and if you do the square knot, and so it walks you through all the different steps, step by step of how you would actually do a suture. And then that would be a place where you could walk your students through and be able to go into that world. So with that said, that is kind of some of our main curriculum that I pulled out for you. I'm just showing you how it can be used in vet tech and hopefully giving you some opportunities to be able to see that that we have some resources that if you are needing something to finish out the school year, that is there for you. If you need something to kind of make your curriculum world a little more robust, if that's something, or you are wanting to finish off the school year, or wanting to use these to really get that engagement from your students, that might be some opportunities for you. Now, again, these products here are all at realityworks.com. And then your information here, what you would go is go under for pricing and for videos. Underneath our agriculture link, you can see all these different products as well. So not only can you get your free curriculum, but you can also go and view some of our products and be able to see some of those as well. So with that said here, just a reminder of where it's located, because one of the questions here that I see is how long will the curriculum be for free? So right now, this is a COVID-19 response. So I would say as we are still in this pandemic, as we're still here, as teachers and schools are still not able to be on site, so they're remote learning. As remote learning is still available, we will still have this site up. As it goes back to normal everyday classroom, we'll probably start removing these features here. So I would say you have it for the rest of this school year for sure, And again, we will continue to try to work as much as we can with our customers and partner with them and our teachers here as we try to make sure that we're giving you some help in this very unique time for sure. So in this case, you go through COVID-19 response, you hit the learn more. In the learn more, then it comes down to our webinars, free lessons, and then it's guides and curriculum. You click on that guides and curriculum, and you have the guides and curriculum for all of our different products. Now, one of the things that I should show you here is, and I will exit out of here, one of the things that I should show you here is making sure that I can let you see here in just one second here. I'm going to get my our website up here. And so let me bring you to our website. And on our website, so let me share that for you here. There we go. So sharing the website here, I'm actually on the Suture Kit page where you can go there. But one of the things is I'm going to go to our front page here. And as you see, I scroll down here. And again, this is the COVID-19 area. So I'm going to hit Learn More. And that is when it's going to come on down to our resources, and it's going to be guides and curriculum. And one of the questions that someone asked was, again, here's our agriculture world. And that's where if I come in here, I have the cat model. I also have cat skeleton model. We come down here, we have the dog kidney uterus, different models. We have a large dog model and then a small dog model, okay? But somebody asked the question of where would I be able to find the Suture Kit, all right? And so the interesting part of that is where we have it on our in our curriculum area here is it's not in our agriculture world. It's actually down in our health science area, and you can see it's right down here under health science because a lot of customers will also use that in our health science world. So it is in the Suture Kit is down in the health science, but it has a curriculum that is for the agriculture and the veterinary world. So that would be in that area there for you. So being able to show you that and hopefully that helps. Let's see if there's any other questions that we have. Emily, I don't know if there's any other questions that we have. And it's sounding like we don't have any other questions. Oh, here's another question. Do cat and dog models have both reproductive genders? So yes. So oh, let me reread that. Okay. Do cat models. So our cat and our dog models are both female genders. Okay. So the model itself are female genders. However, the so the model itself is a female gender, but our curriculum talks through both of them in the both male and female. So so in that case we have both male and female. So let's see here.
Jamie, we have a question.
Yes.
Where are the PowerPoint downloads?
So where are the PowerPoint downloads? Okay, let me go back to my thing here. I want to make sure that you're able to. Want to make sure that I'm sharing or the right thing so you can see there. All right, so when you go into something here, and I'll go into the animal here, all right, and I'm going to go into cat model, where it opens up here, there is a curriculum download. And so when you click the curriculum download, down to the bottom, it will start to create a file folder for you. And let me bring that over to you. And inside of the curriculum, the CAT curriculum is, you're going to see the curriculum itself, and then it has all of the PowerPoint slides in there as well for you. So what I showed you today is just a kind of a presentation of part of the PowerPoint slides, but there's a lot more PowerPoint slides than what I was able to just show you today in our time that we had here. So it's lots of different PowerPoint slides for you, but that is just some of those slides that that we were able to kind of, and I kind of pulled out to really be able to show you some of the neat factors that then you can get in even deeper with those questions. So. With that, then I will jump back to our PowerPoint presentation. Again, if you have more questions, please feel free to keep asking them. These are great questions. We want to make sure that you're getting your questions answered. But I do want to then also share with you that right now we do have 10% off on all of our agriculture products. So if you do go to our website, realityworks.com, and go to any of our agriculture products, and again, like I said, Suture Kit was underneath the health science curriculum, but it is also part of the health or the agriculture world. It's inside of our agriculture catalog. Anything that's inside of the agriculture catalog, we have a 10% off our entire product line of agriculture products. So if you want a quote, you need a quote, feel free to just go and to this website here and get a quote, or get right on our website and you can ask for that 10% off, and that will be something that you can get right now. So with that said, I thank you for your time. If there's any other questions, feel free to ask them. We want to make sure that we've answered all of them. And I do see one other one is, the question was, are the models a hard plastic or a soft material? So the models are made out of a harder plastic. So, and it's actually it's kind of a fiberglass material. So it's a very kind of hard material, but it has magnets to it. So the internal parts are all removable. So you can open the models up and they open up, and then you can take out the different internal organs. So the heart, the stomach, the kidneys, the reproductive tract, the large and small intestine, all those pieces come out and are able to be manipulated, touch, feel, be able to put back in, see how the different systems work, where their places are, things of that nature. So that's another answer, hopefully, that helps you with that question. So.
Jamey, we got one more question.
Yeah.
Do you offer a kit for teaching injections?
So the way we have it is we do have our bovine injection simulator. So that's the big product. And then the kit, if you're looking for kind of a smaller kit, that's where we have the injection pads. And so that then allows you, and the injection pads we have a large injection pad and we have a small injection pad. And that is something where you can use kind of more as a kit, where you can then teach subcutaneous, intramuscular, different type of blood draw, things of that nature, using those. So that would be the kit that we would have if you're looking for just teaching, students sitting at a table learning how to inject and things of that nature. If you're looking for the overall thing and kind of putting it with the animal itself, that would be then where you'd want to go with the bovine injection to be able to do that. That has a little bit more, well, has a lot more in the sense of it has a pulse. So you put water in the bovine injection and you can feel the pulse. You can do a jugular blood draw. You can do injections and see, did you go too far into the muscular? Did you not go far enough? Subcutaneous, you can tent, be able to put that in, be able to release, in this case, it's water in your syringe, but being able to release that and see where did it go, what did it do, things of that nature. So that is much more in-depth, hands-on. If you're looking for a smaller kit, then that's where you want to go for our injection pads.
And then we have another question. How about for injection pads, for calf injections?
Gotcha. So for calf injection, again, what we have is our newest product coming out is our calf simulator, and that is something where, and I can kind of give you a quick view of that as well. So our calf simulator is one of our newest products, and that actually allows you to do a lot of different things to it, from do injections, to do ear tagging, to being able to do being able to do esophageal tube feeding, and then ear tagging, and then also I was able to do a castration. So then learning all those different features. So that actually, the calf simulator allows you to be able to do injections on it as well. We also included, and not a lot of times you will do a tail blood draw on a calf, but we included that in this product just so then your students can learn how to do it as well. So lots of different options there in that world. So great question.
All right, I'm not seeing any other questions.
Okay, well, with that, I just want to say thank you for taking this time to be with us. We really appreciate and hope that this was helpful to you and gives you information that then you can use for the future, for what you need. So thank you for your time, and I really appreciate what you're doing. Keep on keeping on, keep the good work going, and finish strong. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.